Hello. Today we're gonna discuss functions, and well, this is kind of an important part. Now, there's many types of functions in the world, but there's really only two that people really talk about, and that's the math function and computer program. Now, before we get into this, no, the math function can be used in computer programming, but you really shouldn't, because the math function is pretty much what the computer programming is. But anyway, here you are. We have two examples of functions shown right here, and this is where we're going to write our function here. Here's not one example. This is for this little brick part right here and here. And basically it says script.parent.touch connect function hit. If hit.parent find child first child humanoid, then hit.parent.humanoid.health equals 0. Script.parent.brickcolor equals brickcolor new bright red. Script.parent.brickcolor gets brickcolor new permison. There you go. So if we analyze what we're supposed to analyze, this function right here. So right here it checks if this is hit or touched by anything, and then it tells that it calls this function of the hit. But only if the hit is a humanoid, has a child of humanoid, then it will kill it, or you will die from the lava. And it will also bright up and then stop. And then I'm gonna do one more thing in here. If hit dot parent dot humanoid dot health is less than 1, then, and then right here we put end, if I could spell it. That should stop it from, it will only do the little thing once. So here's an example of a function. This is another example function. So right here, we on this, if this dummy's health reaches 0, as you see, which it dies, because as a function, which is the humanoid of the dummy, if it's died, and it connects and calls this, and then it connects in this, and then this calls that function, which this, if script.parent.humanoid.health is less than 1, then wait for 3 seconds, then clone it, and then in the same span of time also destroy the other one. Now we can see both of these in action rate if we just hit play. Here. It dies. And then responds. Then it dies. And response. And for the other one, we can see this in action. There we go. So if we want to, but there is one more way we can call a function, and that is by making a function. And let's just make a function real quick, and then we just tell it to print. Cool. Now this on its own cannot activate in the output and print and output something. This is because the function by itself, this is just a function waiting to be called. If it is called, then it will, but since it's not being called, it only has its instructions locally inputted in the local storage. So what we do, or global storage, is we call it. And one way to do it is while wait, and then we can do like 5 do. Now if we wanted to make it a little bit more rare, how about this? The meme goes big is cool. And what we can do is do like a local random equals math dot random. Then we can do 1 for 2. And then what we do, if random equals 1, then cool. So that, and then if the random equals 1, then we call the function, and then it prints this. So this is how a function works. So we're just gonna hit play, and we wait 5 seconds, and if it doesn't happen, you know, oh look, it called the function. Now if we wait another 5 seconds, it called the function again. That time it didn't call the function. That means it felt it random wasn't true. It did it another time. Now we can wait for it to call it again. But it seems it's not. How about this? The meme goes big. Incomplete statement. Whatever. But anyway, that is basically the basic function. So if we can explain it a little bit more in depth, we can do this and rename it to function. What old projects. But basically, to re-elaborate what this is, a function, like its mathematical counterpart, is pretty similar. It's just a function with this, and inside of it is its input. And then if it is called, then if it is called somewhere else in the game, then the function will happen. Here's something that doesn't happen. Compared to its mathematical part, f, which is the function in math, you have your little function, and this is already an input. This is saying that it's like could be f, and then f could actually just be like time, and time, well, not time, but it's like meters. Say f is meters, and meters is a function of time, and that time can vary from 1 second to 5 seconds. And then, depending on what that is, it will only give one answer. That's an example of a function. But, anyway, there you go. This is what functions are. This is how they are. And that is it. Goodbye.